Like it was like, okay, that's a little different. And Mark Pope may be fine.
Right.
It's
yeah,
not
right.
I'm not,
It's,
I mean,
yeah, too early.
They seem like great guys. Yeah. But they sure as hell don't look like a typical Kentucky team that we've been used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, I can deal with that.
So what was it your on the court takeaways?
From last night.
Yeah.
I mean, we need, I mean, we probably could have used another shooter. I mean, there's so many little things.
What was wrong with Pruitt?
I don't know. But he threw the ball backwards.
Catch the ball.
Yeah.
Shoot the ball.
Because I know you're better than that, but like you look nervous when you do that stuff. Like, just throw the ball out of bounds. Like what? But I mean, we're like that Kentucky team was a little younger, but I mean, it's one of those things where it was like, man, you just, we could have used some shooting. We could use that. But at the end of the day, man, they just had.
I have to say this out loud. I don't know if you heard it earlier. I did a little pre-show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say this out loud and we can laugh about it and move along. Siva's 33.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is almost 40.
Yeah.
What would LeBron have done out there?
Any team he played on would win the TBT. Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
Well, listen, what would the odds if LeBron played in the TBT? What would the odds?
God, they'd be through the roof.
How ridiculous is that?
For that team. Yeah.
Listen, I didn't realize this, but like I was riding talking to Gibbs this morning, and he was like, this ain't that old. This ain't that old. I'm like, they're old. I'm like, see, this guy this age, Montrez, and then I started doing the math, and I was like, what year did LeBron get to the league?
Yep.
03.
Yeah. And we're looking at the 13 guys like they're just too old. They can't do it anymore. Yeah.
Listen, he was a 10-year veteran when they were winning their college championships.
Yeah.
And now he's out on the Olympic being the best player in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, any team he played for would have won that thing.
You really think so?
Last night. Yeah. He could have played for Takeover BC and they would have beat the Ohio State team.
So you're saying out of all 64 teams,
any team
if he played on one, they would guarantee win.
They would win it. They would win it. Any team he played on.
Some of those teams were kind of trashy.
I mean, Louisville could have won the game last night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had 8-9 stops in a row.
Yeah, they shot terrible.
I mean, they could have technically won the game. Imagine if they had LeBron.
When you need to get a bucket to stop a run.
I'm like, did you see? I mean, Trez blocked Willie Cauley-Stein right at the rim. David Johnson pitched somebody right at the rim. It was Eric Bledsoe just blocks Russ right off the shot. Like, imagine what LeBron would do to somebody. He would never get shots off. He'd be out there pitching everything. He'd be like, God, dude.
Is he gonna retire?
Hey, I do like Eric Bledsoe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's grown on me.
Okay.
Because I hated him in college because he seemed like he was like, we always looked at him as like this young punk that cheated in school, and which I mean is technically all true. But right. But it was like, oh man, this is like just some dummy that cheated his way into college. Now he's just a punk, and all that stuff. And again, like I said, I think that's all true. But now when you watch him, like Bob said it last night on the call, and he was so right. He's like, you watch the guys that actually played in the NBA, and like they did not get involved in any of that stuff. They're like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. But watching Eric Bledsoe last night throughout that game, it's like, God, he's such a pro. He was just such a pro, man. That's
all I kept saying, Steve. Yeah. I'm like, that's a professional. I mean, just take care of the ball, minimum. I remember Kevin Durant was explaining it to one of these young and up and comers. He was just like, the better you get, the simpler you get.
Yeah.
You simpler way. So Bledsoe, like he knew when I needed to take a shot.
Yeah.
He knew when I needed to get right to the free throw line. And, just watching him, it's like, God, he's strong. And like, man.
No, he was fun to watch. It was even fun to watch him, just kind of like how you could tell he was just the OG on the team that really led, you know.
Yep.
And yeah, so he grew on me, man. He gained a fan in me for sure. Him and yeah, I mean, it was good. Like I said, I hate losing, you know, but I mean,
it was a good experience. It was a good atmosphere.
It's such a good experience. It's something that Jordan Wara was there.
I did see like, Jordan Malik there.
I think it was Ethan was like, Jordan, man, we need you out there. He was like, he literally told Ethan, he was like, God, I wish, man. he said first one I can, I'm in. Yeah, like he was awesome. Just very much like, yeah, he was jacked. He was like, man, I'd play right now, man. But he did, yeah. So Jordan Wara did say that first one.
I'm done. You're gonna hold them to it.
I mean,
you're gonna hold them to it.
I'm in. So
what? It was pretty star-studded, I guess. You know, like
Chris Paul was there. I mean, Jordan, Malik. I
saw Dewan, J.O.
Yeah, Dewan. Osborne was there. Daryl Griffith's been at every one of them. He's you know, who else? Malik Williams was there again last night. Sean East was there. I mean, he plays for the Lakers. You know, there's so many guys that were, and then I mean, I'm forgetting Jalen Johnson was there.
Yep, I did. I did hear that.
Okoye was there.
Ali Khalifa.
Ali Khalifa was there, man. Got to chat with him. I had a great chat with him. I'll keep it between us, but he was awesome to talk to, man. So yeah, it was a great event, and last night just culminated. Like I said, I mean, we all hate Kentucky. We want to beat Kentucky, and you know, there's reasons we can find why we lost, whatever. But it was, at the end of the day, it was just such a great. It was a win. It was the event was a win. Yeah.
Well, there's some reasons why we won.
I'm listening.
Reese Gaines, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Coach Reese Gaines, how's it going, my man?
Man, what's up, fellas? I'm hanging in there.
Listen, I hear your voice. You sound like you got your lungs going. Were you up early or what?
I was definitely up early. So I finished my first round of running. Now I'm on the walking. I'm torturing myself. At the same time, yeah.
Okay, so I got to ask you, big picture experience. We later on we'll get to the actual game, but big picture coaching the TBT. Kind of give us your big picture experience.
A lot of things were unexpected. I mean, thanks to our fans and our the fan base, I felt like I was coaching real, true basketball games. 4 real games, and the amount of stress and the amount of care that as a staff we had to up our game and put into it. I mean, we're dealing with high IQ players on the team. We got, you know, Payton, Russ, and we got obviously Montrezl Harrell. So every day we had to bring it and be on point and get those guys' attention and to make sure they were going to, you know, follow what we needed them to follow. It became real work in a good way, so it was unexpected.
So was that a difficult thing, like trying to gain their trust, or you know, kind of go through that process?
No, I wouldn't say gain their trust, but there's a certain level between players, you know, Marcus. At the higher level of player, it's a different kind of knowledge that you have to have, and you have to really bring it as a certain knowledge base every day. That was the challenge with some of our players who coach under really great coaches. I mean, real coaches. I mean, Tyronn Lue. You know, the guy, the coach at Memphis is, I mean, he's very detail oriented and high level. I mean, he's a former Spurs guy. So that was a definitely different level of challenge. I think we just trusted each other because we all knew we're brothers. We know how we work. We know how much we care. We know how much we value these opportunities.
Yeah.
That was real good.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that. It's like, you know, when guys, you know, pros, you know, older guys, like how does the substitution patterns go? Do people, you know, like yeah, I know. I was really wondering, like, how do I take myself out? And you know, like say everybody wants to play, everybody thinks they can help. Was there a lot of talk between the coaches or the players on the substitution patterns or what?
I would say there's a lot of sleepless nights on the smallest minute detail of how to sub, when to sub. And a lot of times it also was just your instinct and what you believed in at the time. And sometimes you're tested, your character is tested as a coach, what you believe in. Sometimes you overcome them, sometimes you don't. And it was a constant back and forth for me. That was a tough experience because the relationship I had with the players, what I believed they could do, one, what I know I needed them to do to win this game, and to balance that out was a truly, truly great learning experience. It was probably for a coach, you talk about a coaching clinic or camp that you go to improve. This was it for me. I mean, I've grown and grew and learned so much in these couple of weeks. And like I said, it all started with the seriousness of our fans and the support and love of our fans, making each game and each practice real. That's what it felt like to us. It was some pressure. Good pressure, I would say.
Talking with Coach Reese Gaines, give me a moment, like a snapshot moment, like one of your best feelings, being a coach over there.
Man, one of the best feelings I would say was walking out the tunnel game 3. We just had gave a real kumbaya speech. Everyone was all in, and we kind of reflected about who we are as players in this room, even the non-U of L guys, and what it meant to do something bigger than ourselves in this point in our careers. And seeing the fans walk out and just thinking about Coach Crum and Coach P, and Officer Dale was walking me down the tunnel. It was like a surreal moment. It was unbelievable, So it was that was a huge moment right there that I definitely never forget.
Oh, okay, that's on the good side. Is there a decision that you didn't make or didn't pull the trigger on that's gonna haunt you, or just something that's like, damn it, why didn't I make that move?
100%. I think overall, one decision. It was a decision on one thing that I stand on is the amount of effort that you must give, and sometimes I probably let things go that I would never do in other situations. But like we said as a staff, we're never going to make excuses because this is a TBT. You know what I mean? Like, do we have the same resources? Is it the same scenario? Are there challenges? Yes, but those are never excuses. So that wasn't an excuse. But that's probably one thing that when I go back and look on, I would say that definitely was a turning point in my coaching career. Something I would definitely learn from, and from now on, stay another and never move from that square for sure.
Listen, I know I speak on behalf of the former players and the fan base. This was a very, very fun ride. You want to give any extra shout outs before I get you out of here?
I mean, thank you to the fans, everybody supported. Thank you to the staff, the players, everyone that helped me get this opportunity. I really, truly appreciate it. I also want to thank Derek Walker, Omar Pruitt, Dylan Navar, and definitely Shane. I mean, for the first time, those guys deserve to play. Those guys are very talented, and it was just my inexperience trying to figure out how to get those guys on the court. I really want to thank them for their attitude and their positivity. So definitely Omar Pruitt, Dylan Navar, Derek Walker, and even Shane. Shane busted his tail every day in practice. And that's one feeling that it's going to be hard to shake, not giving those guys a fair shake.
Coach, well said. Yeah. Appreciate you coming on. I'll definitely be hitting you up later on.
All right, thanks.
That was
Yeah,
Coach Reese Gaines.
That's about as honest as it can get right there.
I really appreciated his dismount on that one because you did see the text line, and
yeah, we did. I wasn't going to ask him. I wasn't going to ask him about Shane, you know, but that's been the question.
Yeah, why didn't he play? And he said it. He said maybe he lets the effort go on a little longer than he would have.
Well, anytime you don't win the championship, you question you did something wrong somewhere down the line.
What? Yeah, and when you and I talk about every athlete that I've ever cared about their personal growth, the first thing you say is, no matter what happened, what could you have done better? You naturally got to do that.
Oh yeah.
So he instantly goes, okay, this is what I could have done better.
Well, Lieberman said last year, Coach Lieberman said last year, just chatting with him privately, he was like, no, he's like, you don't understand, for 3-4 days after that, like, that's all I thought about.
Yeah. I can imagine.
It's all I thought about.
My empathy for coaches.
Coach Reese is literally just on a run today, like last night probably was a blur. Like, he's just now decompressing. It's almost unfair of us to get him so quick. But I'm glad we did, because I do think people wanted to hear from him. But it's like, he's just now kind of decompressing all that.
Listen, he said it. He said this is a whirlwind. Listen, I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying this. You're running a practice, and you have a 12-year veteran in Montrez. You ran NBA practices.
Yeah.
You better be on point.
Mm-hmm.
You better be on point, because if you don't know what you're talking about, or if they don't believe in the, like I said, substitution, that's probably the one up in the air. That's, like I said, that's mood, fit, vibe, trust, all that good stuff. But you have to be able to take Trez out.
Even if he's gassed, they're like, this texter says Trez was gassed last night. I do agree with that, but you still got to look at a guy.
And you got to remember, he's been gassed before, and he's made big time plays.
Yeah.
So that's a tough.
It's tough to be like, hey, you get out and sit down. Shane, get in. Like
exactly.
What, coach? It's fourth quarter. I haven't played. I'm just sitting over here. I know. Go make a play.
Go, Shane.
Sit over there.
Get up there, Shane, and go make a switch.
It is. I do have empathy on those guys.
And say being around Lieberman a little extra now.
I mean, like just the decisions like that you have to make, man. And again, this isn't high school. It's not hard to pull high school kids. Like what we do over at Holy Cross, you be the best player on the team. Sit down.
Yeah, because you are the authority.
Yeah. Like over there, it's a different beast, man. Like you'll see it tonight. Hey, if Coach Kelsey gets mad at Chucky Hepburn, he's gonna be like, Chucky, sit down and shut up. Move on to, you know what I'm saying?
Bad example.
Don't do that to Chucky.
We haven't had our first game. You're already getting Chucky in trouble and benching him.
Can they transfer still? Never mind.
Right.
Okay, you can't do that in college.
You better treat him like a gentle.
I lied. Don't yell. Actually, Coach Kelsey, don't yell at anybody. Let's just have fun down there.
Listen,
I did ask. I will share this. I did ask Ali Khalifa. I was like, man, you missed out on the Bahamas. It was like, you're going to the next one though, right? He was like, man, I've been to the Bahamas 12 times. He was like, I'd rather be here. I was like, now
that's pretty funny.
He'd rather be with his team.
Yeah.
He was just talking about. He was like, the expression I used there wasn't good enough because he was like looking around. Like, I'd rather be here.
Okay.
Yeah. He was like, I've been to the Bahamas. I've never seen nothing like this.
Okay,
so
that's awesome.
Vibe. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was like, I feel you, man.
Yes, a great appreciation for it. I tell you what, we'll take a reset. Appreciate Reese Gaines coming on, like I said, during his decompression morning, jumping on with us. So we'll take a quick commercial break. Nice on the bill.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health.